Shalom, Alaikum, Shivakar Makapash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Chak Wadash. When I give double honor to the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful that's pushing his truth, not sincerity. Backing with another video. I've got an article here. This is from the Sun. This is an older article, man, but I already posted up in the chat recently, and it just goes to show, the devil who the world really trusts and believes in, man, thinking that they're doing good around the earth, man. With these reputable organizations, these charities and things like things of that nature, right? This is going into the UN, right? They're meant to be some reputable organization here for the world's good, run by Edomites, but really, what's really going on? What's really happening? What are these guys really doing? Right? And this is what we mean. Like, when you deal with Esau, on the face of things, man, everything seems like legit. It looks safe. It looks, inviting. It looks helpful and all this stuff, right? But to all these things that he sets up in the name of good, there is a dark and nasty underbelly to it all, man. Because it's just a front. It's a front for him to do wickedness, And this the shit that goes on. This is the type of shit that goes on, man. And this is why we say never trust thy enemy. All right, so we'll just open up with that, man, because we bring the scripture out a lot, and the scripture means what it says, man. Like, these nations, and especially Esau, Edom, right, are our enemies, right, and they're enemies to life itself. They're enemies to all nations, man, to all people, all creeds, right, even the animals, the plant life. They're just anti-life in it, right? So don't expect Esau to be doing righteousness on the earth and doing good, what's best for everybody. Don't do that. Don't think that of him, man. Don't think that that's what his MO is to do good. He's not a do-gooder, right? He ain't nothing but the wicked. All right. So let's just read through this, right? It's from Sirach chapter 12 verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. Thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." Okay, you don't get rid of rust, man. It's still corrupted. Okay, yeah, you might polish the outside of it, surface rust. You might get rid of all of that. And it looks okay. It looks alright from the outside, but that rust's gonna come straight back out. It ain't gonna last, man, because it's already corrupted. It's corrupted. All right, it needs to be gotten rid of. All right, it's corrupted, and Esau is that corrupted one. Okay, beyond all doubt, he's that corrupted one on the planet, man, and he ain't, on the outside, yeah. He fixes himself up with with a suit or some spill that will give the world like he out here trying to do good, and he's respectable on the planet, building up all these organizations to help people and whatever. Yeah, it all looks good on the outside, but get deeper down into it. Get deeper down into things, man. You're gonna find shit like this is going on everywhere. Everywhere. These guys are not here to help you, man. They're here to take advantage of you. All right. So continuing on, right? It says, "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat." So you can't trust anything when he's around you, man. You don't know what this guy's thinking, what evil and what wickedness he's putting inside his mind. All right, dangerous, man. All right. So lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Right. So we're here to remind the people, or our people, first and foremost, right, about who this devil really is, man. They don't think, a few decades of hardcore bondage is enough to distrust him. Like he a changed man. I don't know. We have to remind that people that this guy is the devil, man. It's mad. Why should we even be going over this? Like, you should know. Everyone should know already what this guy's about. You know, but now he's smiling in your face. He ain't calling you nigga no more. You know, he let you get in on on the slavery, right? Giving you jobs, right? You know, he let you to come up to a certain way, make some money. You think everything's all good, man, but nothing's changed. Okay, he still looks down upon you, man. He still treats you like a piece of shit. But anyway, this is who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast, right? You know what to expect. You know what you should be expecting with dangerous animals. Like, you expect to get bitten and whatever, man, get mauled, whatever. You don't approach certain things. You know what the characteristics are like, right? You know what they're about. It's the same way with Esau. You should already know what this guy is about. Okay, your defenses should never be down around him, ever. You know, you wouldn't go amongst a den of lions. You wouldn't do that. You know it's dangerous. You know, you drop your guard and just walk through. Nah, you ain't walking through. You better stay away. Right? It's the same. It's the same thing. You don't play with snakes, right? Anyway, it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner, okay, a sinner's the same way, a wicked is the same way, right? And is defiled with him in his sins. Who will pity? You should know better. You should stay away from that person, or that, these people. You know, for a while, he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, and that's all Esau does these days, man. He just speaks sweetly with his lips, with his words that he uses, his buttery words, to make you believe, his lie. He knows he's lying. You should know that he's lying, but it sounds so nice to the ears. It sounds like he really wants to change. It sounds like he wants to help. Don't believe it, man. Don't be fooled. All right, there's always, secret MOs that he ain't trying to let you get on, try to let you know about. That's detrimental to you. He ain't trying to let you in on that. You know? So the enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Right? He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. I pretend to help. These men do nothing but pretending to help, sending these organizations in there so they can do some wickedness, do some sacrifices and all kinds of shit. On the surface, yeah, they're here to keep the peace. They're here to help people and whatever. Yeah, that's what it looks like on the shop front. Go in the basement now, a whole lot of shit, different shit going on, man. A whole lot of different shit going on. And some of these, they might be working for an organization. They might not even, they probably don't even know what the fuck's going on, man. But this is what they're here for, to solicit this wickedness that goes on. They don't even know. All right. It says, he will shake his head, verse 18. So he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance, man. Right? And you're going to eventually see that this has all been just an act that he's been putting on for everybody, for the world, to make them believe in him. To make them believe that he is a good guy, that he's out here trying his best to help the world, help the people of the world, when really he's been the devil the whole time. Like we've been telling you, he's been the devil the whole time. He hasn't changed. He hasn't, kind of leopard change his spots. He's never changed, but he's put on the act. He's put on the act and he's deceived the world for the most part, right? And got you people believing in him, man. Got people believing in him. And that's why when the time of the MOTB comes, man, you're going to believe on him. You're not going to believe upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You're going to believe on him. You're going to believe on Esau because you think that he's ultimately trying to do good, trying to help people. But that is not the case, right? And it never will be the case, right? And so articles like this should come as no surprise. But, when it gets there published, it's shocking. It's like, oh my God, how could this be? Well, without the article, man, we would already know that shit was going down. All right, but let's get into some of this article here. All right, bomb. Like I said, this is an old document. This is date what February 2018. So what's that now? 4 years ago. All right. It says bombshell UN dossier. UN aid workers raped 60,000 people as it claimed organization employs 3,300 pedophiles. Yeah, would it be surprising, right? And it doesn't doesn't lead off. It doesn't lead off. It just shows you this. It doesn't lead off with this word, but it says a whistleblower. So someone from the inside, okay, is the one that kind of with the whistle on it, right? And so yeah, it's all claim stuff, right? Because obviously, an investigation would have to take place. Whether it gets whether it takes place or not, like properly or not, is a whole different matter completely. But if someone I guess is saw, heard, whatever, firsthand, whatever, right? Uh, you know, these cannot be claimed as facts at this moment in time because there's no investigation, and if there ever is one, or if it's ever done properly, you'll never know half the story, right? But this is a whistleblower, right? And we know what these people do to whistleblowers out here. They're not really liked, right? So a whistleblower has claimed UN staff could have carried out 60,000 rapes in the last decade as aid workers indulge in sex abuse unchecked around the world. The claim is a bombshell dossier that former senior United Nations official Andrew McLeod, how do you pronounce that, handed over to the DFID Secretary Priti Patel last year. This is in it, Professor McLeod, whatever, let's call him Mac, Professor Mac, right? Also estimated there are 3,300 pedophiles working for the world body's various agencies alone. Thousands more predatory sex abusers specifically target aid charity jobs to get close to vulnerable women and children. Ain't that the way? Isn't that what pedophile would do? You know what I'm saying? Look at Jimmy Savile. You know, and that's why it's hard to even trust. If you got kids in the schooling system, it's hard to trust any of these motherfuckers, man. Because naturally, a pedophile would take these types of jobs because they'd want to be close as they possibly can to children, right? So it's hard to trust any of these motherfuckers, man. Okay, they're all on my fucking radar. Anybody who wants to work with kids on my fucking radar, man. Right? I don't care. Right? But it shouldn't come as a surprise that there's a bunch of pedophiles in these types of roles. You can't be too careful, man. You can't be. But this is what's going on. Snaking their way up in there in these different places, man. Right? So anyway, this is there has been an endemic cover up. This place always covering up shit. Always covering up shit. Politics, police forces, every industry, man, they're always covering up shit. They don't want you to know how bad it really is in all these industries, in all these different things, right? And the people, and because the worst thing about it is the people at the top, right? So they can't really do nothing about it. They can't really open the whole lid on the shit because it's the people at the top that have control of the people underneath them, right? And so it's being run, okay? And ain't a damn thing anyone's gonna do about it, right? They might throw a few guys to the lions, in the public eye to prosecute them and to look like they're doing something, but it continues, man. These circles, these Pizzagate scandals, these types of shit, they continue all the time. Okay, they ain't being brought to justice. They ain't stopping. Ain't no one investigating that to the depths it needs to. They'll throw a little, those few little guys out to make it look like they're cracking down. They're getting these men out. They're not getting nobody out. Shit's bigger than ever. Anyways, there's thousands more predatory sex abusers specifically target aid charity jobs to get close to vulnerable women and children. And there has been an endemic cover-up of the sickening crimes for 2 decades, with those who attempt to blow the whistle just getting fired. So it's coming from the higher ups that they bring it up to the higher ups, and it gets dismissed. And next thing you know, these guys are getting sacked or whatever, right? Because it comes from the higher up. The foundation of these organizations is based on all this wickedness that goes on. Everything else is just the shop front. You know, you're there thinking that you're helping, but you're there soliciting these motherfuckers, you know, trafficking children, all types of shit. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. You're ignorant. People are ignorant to the rust. You know, the rust what's going on. It's deep down, but it's there. And on the shop front it's nice and new and whatever, but it's wickedness. And this is the Esau society. Esau society is based on wickedness. Its foundation is wickedness, rust, corruption. All right, that's his foundation, man, and that foundation is going to be protected. Okay, they don't give a shit about no do-gooders, man. Okay, they're here for their own purposes. All right. So sharing his dossier with the Sun, Professor Mack last night warned that the spiraling abuse scandal was on the same scale as the Catholic churches. Oh, we all know about that as well, right? You know how big that is, right? So they're saying it's just as bad. All these organizations in Esau society is founded on wickedness. Everything. You know? And there's all this abuse and ritual sacrifice and magic that goes on in them. All right? That's what it is. So the respected academic said, oh, so he's supposed to be a respected academic too, right? Whatever, but you know, so there are tens of thousands of aid workers around the world with pedophile tendencies. But if you wear a UNICEF T-shirt, nobody will ask you what you're up to. That's what I'm saying. Like you put on a uniform now or whatever, and they just think, oh no, you know, they're here to help. You see, sort of organization, they must be reputable and trustworthy. Yeah, okay. And they abuse that, they abuse that ignorance that you have. You know, they abuse that ignorance. They take advantage of your ignorance, your naivety, believing that this man, this devil is trying to do you trying to do you help, trying to do you good. They take advantage of that. They deceive the people, and they take advantage of this. You know, the fact that you've been deceived, right? Says you have the impunity to do whatever you want. It is endemic across the aid industry across the world. The system is at fault and should have stopped this years ago. Well, the system is being run by Edomites. You know, so it ain't gonna be fixed. The only way you're gonna fix it is get rid of Edomites. You know, people don't like that. People don't like it when we talk about it, but that's what you'd have to do. All right, and that's what the Lord's gonna come and do, man. And that's when things are gonna get turned right. That's when the system is gonna change. You know, it ain't gonna change under these guys. All right, talk about the systems at fault. Well, yeah, that means the whole system's got to go. This whole Edomite kingdom, this whole Edomite rulership has to go. Then shit like this won't be going on. All right. Let's see what else is there. Get this one here. So the professor's grim 60,000 figure is based on UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' admission last year that UN peacekeepers, given the nice names, peacekeepers, yeah, no, and civilian staff abused 311 victims in just 1 month. Oh, sorry, in one 12-month period over 2016. Says the UN also admits that the likely true number of cases reported against its staff is double that, as figures outside of war zones are not essentially collated. So the Professor Mack also estimates that only 1 in 10 of all rapes and assaults by UN staff are reported, as even in the UK the reporting rate is just 14%. So that's So I know there were a lot of discussions at senior levels of the United Nations about something must be done, but nothing effective came of it. And are you surprised? Nothing came of it. Because the higher ups in these organizations ain't gonna do shit about it. They're gonna hide it. And if you look at the record of whistleblowers, they were fired. Again, not a surprise. We are looking at a problem on the scale of the Catholic Church, if not bigger. And ain't no one doing nothing shit about the Catholic Church either. Mr. Pro Francis or whatever ain't doing shit. Some of these men, they get caught. They get they get they don't go to prison. You know what I'm saying? They don't you know what I mean? Nothing happens to them. They get relieved from their duties and they get sent off to some fucking holiday park somewhere, man, to live out the rest of their life. You know? It's fucked. That's pretty much the point though, man. I don't need to read anymore. But yeah. Shit be going on all the time. Like I said, we're not surprised because we know who we know who we're dealing with out here, man. But you people seem so shocked all the damn time, you know. But if you knew, if you understood who and what Esau is, you know, these so-called white people, you know who these people are and the and the system that they've created, you know this stuff goes on all the time, man. But people don't want to think about it, right? People want to believe that we live in a world that is inherently, you know, trying to do the right things, right? And not understanding that really this place has a wicked vibration and it is inherently wicked and it's trying to do wickedness all the time. And like I said, a lot of things happen behind closed doors in the darkness and doesn't get put out there in the light, right? But behind or below the front of all these organizations, man, is wickedness. Its foundation is wickedness, right? It's not inherently right, ain't inherently good, right? It's Psalms 36 from the top, right? So to the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. Since verse 4, he deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Right? This guy is always plotting and scheming wickedness, man. And he has no fear. He has no care in the world. Right? He's gonna do what the hell he wants to do. Right? He won't air his dirty laundry, so to speak, but he's gonna do what he wants to do, man. He ain't gonna have society tell him what he can and can't do. Or the Most High tell him what he can and can't do, right? He's gonna do exactly what he wants to do. Right? And he'll do it in secret or whatever, but he'll do it. Right? But he's always thinking about mischief. Alright? This is Micah 2:1 says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands. Okay? The scripture say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? And Esau, the so-called white man, has the power. Okay, he has the rulership over the earth. He has the ability to create all these organizations. Right, so like I said, on the surface of things, he's trying to do a good thing. He making these organizations to help poor people and mash up places and that he fucked up, by the way. You know, that he set up wars and proxies and all that kind of shit going on, stealing their resources or whatever. You know, he's setting up all these charities, right, to help people, right? So yeah, it sounds good on the surface of things, that he's trying to, you know, stop poverty and shit, right? But that's not why it was set up. That's what was told to you, the reason why he set it up. But no, he just really wants to exploit and do kinds of manner of wickedness. So he'll set up a whole organization front just for that. He'll do that because he can. All right. This is from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14, and we'll close it with this. All right. says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. Right? And that's what I'm saying. His whole being exists to do wickedness and evil on the earth, right? He can't help himself. He can't stop, because that is what he's made for, man. He's the wicked. Esau, the so-called white man, is the wicked, right? And he's only going to do what his heart desires, and his heart desires to do evil and wickedness. All right. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You know, Esau's a violent man. So all the wars he go around starting. Look at Harry. You know, he got into all these different nations, all these different lands that he's taken from others, conquered. He's a violent man. On a global scale. I know we like to focus on Jake, but Esau's a violent man on a global scale. All right. It says, but the path of the just is okay. That's the point. So yeah, they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. All right. So that's just who he is, man. Right. So the fact that they going around doing this is no surprise. You know, these numbers are probably even higher. You know, but just because Esau set up an organization which sounds like it's helping people, man, just know there's evil wickedness going on in it at its base, at its roots, and that's what it's really set up to do. For certain men to take advantage of this, you know. And like I said, you're gonna have some idiots like some of these guys out here that think they're doing good, or thinking that this wicked, this type of wickedness is acceptable within an organization, so they're gonna do it too, right? That's why they be hiring these pedophiles and whatever. But eventually, some of these will get fed to the wolves, man. They'll give those guys up because they feel comfortable, right? They thought they were safe. Oh, that's what they really on down there. That's fine, because that's what I want to do too. And yeah, you get fed to the wolves, man. But the root of it is intact. It's safe, you know. But that's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes in this world, in this system. Yeah, that they called it, right? But like I said, never trust an enemy, man. I don't know what you guys are expecting. But anyway, man, with that, I'm going to say shalom. And I'll catch you brothers and sisters in the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.